Okay, I don't want to just watch another Mandalore video, but like, this is what the hell? Ghostmaster review? Let's check it out. Let's check it. Sorry for the delays. I'm trying. Like, bro, it's so hard to download videos. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube. It's like, it's blocking some countries and my VPN has like one country. It's Swedish. It's a Swedish because it was cheaper than anything. And, bro, I woke up with my beard in my face. Like, I couldn't see anything. So I had to go and just find a way to straighten this beast. But yeah, it was just a nightmare last night. But 3, 2, 1, go. Jesus Christ! Yeah, I was listening to music with this. Sorry.
Get me out of here!
Achoo! Why was a ghost sneezing? What the fuck is
There
this?
are plenty of games that put you on the receiving end of a haunting, but none that put you in control of one quite like Ghostmaster. Halloween is right around the corner, and this is one of the most Halloween games ever made. It celebrates a lot of horror properties and the fun side of all of them, even when it reaches for some grislier titles.
It's like simulator.
Unfortunately, this is not one of those games aging gracefully on the technical side. It was already rough at launch, but some issues like compatibility have gotten even trickier. So now we've got to treat our shit up. For starters, this is a 4x3 game, which isn't a problem on its own, unless the game is displayed stretched out anyways. The menus and UI stuff getting stretched a bit is fine, but the game itself being stretched does suck.
Yeah,
if
they
it does
look
play
ugly.
nicely 4x3, that's great.
To be fair, they always look. I mean, it's not appealing, but when it's not stretched, it's actually more believable. Like, you know, a human's walking, not a wide man.
But still not ideal for a strategy game. You gotta keep tabs on a lot of ghosts, people, and rooms, and some maps can be gigantic. So more game on screen is ideal. Other problems you think technology would brute force away, like performance drops, are still around. And not little missing frames that you have to be trained in the Gamer's Nexus Dojo to notice, I mean PowerPoint slideshows. Beyond that, it's just a buggy game, to the degree that some ghost powers are flat out broken and don't have any effect. There are plenty of reasons why it's like this. The engine went through a rewrite mid-development, they were out of time and money, so many ghosts and levels were cut, and some ghosts were just thrown into other levels. And the original—
Bro, it looks good. To be fair, it looks appealing. Like, it reminds me of that one pixelated game where you murder all the people after they wake you up from sleep. What was it? Party Hard or something? Yeah, something like that.
To the degree that some ghost powers are flat out broken and don't have any effect. There are plenty of reasons why
but
it's
of course,
like
I mean, anti-aliasing, there is none.
They were out of time and money, so many ghosts and levels were cut, and some ghosts were just thrown into other levels. And the original release ended on a sudden cliffhanger. It's one of those games that got dangerously close to not existing. This is where the Complete Edition mod comes in, which is fantastic and still actively being worked on. The
it's a mod! Oh my god!
And widescreen the UI—
like modern community fixing and restoring. Bro, they fixed DLSS for NVIDIA before Cyberpunk even could do it themselves. Like, that is insanity. Like, crazy, bro. They put FSSR sorry, they put FSR 2.2 in Cyberpunk before. I mean, it's still 2.1 in the fucking screen. Oh my god. CD Projekt Red, get your grip. But I mean, Phantom Liberty has been awesome.
And still actively being worked
on. But modern community has been awesome too.
Includes lots of fixes. And widescreen, the UI is still stretched, but the font is better. But most importantly, the game world itself is now rendered correctly. Broken powers, some crashing, and other egregious bugs are fixed, but
graphic looks decent too.
Performance in the iffy maps is better than vanilla, but still has its hiccups. It's an ongoing process, and there is another update coming in a month or so that'll fix even more of this. But even as is, it's still a huge improvement over vanilla. It also has lots of optional additions.
It looks good, and it looks better. Like, look at those textures. Look at the lighting. I mean, the widescreen alone is amazing, man.
And there is another update coming in a month or so that'll fix even more of this. But even as is,
what the fuck is that? Is that a pump? Oh, it's in a ship or something.
Still a huge improvement over vanilla.
That's
it
beautiful.
Also has lots of optional additions like challenge modes, restored ghosts, and brand new ghosts. A lot of them were on disc but inaccessible, so those ones are just on your roster now. But by using old
Azrael, yo, that's that's so cool. All right, that's amazing. Can you mod more to it? Can you mod more ghosts to it? Ghost Pulsum. Oh, I assume that's ghost currency. If you play as a ghost, you get those. Maybe
design documents, concept art, talking to developers, and other clues. They've begun to outright restore some characters.
punch cork of old
characters
Hitchcock.
from scratch. I only enabled them through my second run of the game, but they
That's
do fit
awesome.
right in. In short, even if you don't want new haunters,
A stick puppy, bro. What the fuck? What is that? A stick puppy?
grab the complete edition. Now that you know the magic of the install wizard, let's start the game properly.
Okay. This is awesome.
Ghostmaster takes place in the unassuming town of Gravenville. Great amenities, nice people, and roughly 4 billion ghosts
Give me a second. Let me see if I'm recording. Actually, yes.
beyond the veil. With so many there, the local haunting committee has assigned you to be the Ghostmaster. You command the spirits during hauntings and help expedite the eviction process for the mortals.
Shit.
During off hours,
That's
you take a more
that
traditional
animation's
management
awesome.
role. All the
Fast.
undead can be trained
The
in the
eyes are
created more
dead,
at your
though.
home base, the Ghoul Room. So you get to experience feeling dead while working in management. And that about does it. There is a story, but it's a very light one, which is fine because this is a game about driving people to madness with bagpipes.
Yeah. Dead by
Visually,
Daylight.
it's a simple and cartoony game, and that's all it has to
What
be.
the
The
fuck
environments
is
don't have
this?
much that are striking or
But the animation looks goofy. By today's standards, the animation looks so goofy. I love it.
cartoony game, and that's all it had to be. The environments don't have much that are striking or unique about them, but it does serve as good grounding since your employees will shake things up. Most maps will be fairly static and bright unless you decide to cut the power to them. There are some levels that lean more into it being creepy,
It's
but
like a
not
strategy.
too far. Again, you're the one doing the haunting, so the game isn't remotely trying to scare you. You're basically the eldritch force that's attacking the world of The Sims.
That's awesome. That is a DLC that needs to be there. Like there are some hints of eldritch shit and like old shit there. I seen it. Like everyone's seen it. Don't pretend there is nothing there. Like in Sims, there are some potentially creepy shit that can happen. Like the death alone itself, when it just comes. Bro, what the fuck? It has a phone?
All of the NPCs can actually have a lot of interactions with their environment, with plenty of animations for everything in between. And that's exactly what you want to nail for this. When you start disrupting a TV, characters stop dancing, one goes over to check what's happening. The game is structured
Okay, okay. Is this the floor we're on or the room we're on? That it's like have a green like shade on top of the thing, you know?
disrupting a TV, characters
is
stop
that?
dancing, one goes over to check what's happening. The game is structured in a way where you usually can't bring out your big scares early
fuck.
and have to build up to them. So the NPCs have plenty of mundane fish tank activities to do, until things begin happening that confuse them
Makes
and then
sense.
terrify them.
Oh my god. That is creepy. But one thing oh, are those your abilities to do those weird shit? What the fuck? What is that? Bro, what the fuck? I want to see animation of all of these.
You can use powers or hints in their bio to learn about their specific fears, but just watching them can give you a lot of info. But you don't need to be a scare scientist to learn that people have an inherent fear of suddenly being on fire. So there's a lot of reactivity in the world and its
God.
people for what you do. And that's a good chunk of the entertainment value. It's like being a kid with a hose and an anthill, but instead you fill the anthill with Courage the Cowardly Dog villains.
And morally correct. You're morally right to do whatever you want. You're a ghost.
It's like
Fuck
being a
'em.
kid with a hose and an anthill, but instead you fill the anthill with Courage the Cowardly Dog villains. You even have the option to look into character POVs just to have a better view of the chaos. Even sleeping characters who will dream of sheep until you assign them a sleep specialist. RLS is now the least of your worries.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, that is brilliant. That is like they put Inception in this game, bro. They fuck you up in your sleeps, shit.
Even sleeping characters who will dream of sheep until you assign them a sleep specialist.
In your sleeps, shit. Sorry for that wasn't English.
RLS is now the least of your worries.
God.
All the animation is the focus and the strong point. All of the bizarre and violent powers you have, and the world's reaction to them. The graphics weren't winning any awards even back then, but it's effective for what it set out
Makes
to do,
sense.
even if it can be janky. The sound of the game is overall in a similar spot.
God, what the fuck was that scream?
The environments have a decent variety, but
Huh.
most of the focus is on the ghosts and their powers. Nothing too noteworthy there. What is amazing
I have no idea what happened. So what? So a stone wall powers swallow.
What is amazing is the game's
What?
music and how it's paced out with everything else. It's playful all the way through and sounds like something they'd play during a comedy silent movie. The beginning of a haunting just has a few stingers here and there, and then at the end, it's pure chaos.
What? So, okay, your job, buried alive. So that your job is to get them out or kill them. Can you even kill them?
It has fantastic energy to it and really brings the whole game
That's
together.
awesome.
It's one of those games that you just cannot imagine with a different soundtrack.
Oh, that's awesome!
Beyond Sim's gobbledygook, there's also a lot of voice acting from the ghosts themselves.
What is this song? Oh my god, what is the track called? Holy crap. Awesome.
Beyond Sim's gobbledygook, there's also a lot of voice acting from the ghosts themselves.
Reminds me
You'll
of
come across
Sumeru.
many that you can free during the missions, and they all have their stories to tell.
Hello, sir. Or madam, or, well, whatever you are. Can I
Fuck
interest
you.
you in our range of facial care products?
I love that. That's anti-woke a bit, but maybe we need it.
Never meant to kill no one,
Nowadays.
but I guess I did, and I guess I deserve the cheer because of it.
Hey, dude. Like, what do you call it when my three geekazoid friends hold a seance for me? Nerdromancy. Hey, kill me, man.
But if you could help us, maybe I could come work for you.
What the fuck?
Bet you don't see many tricksters with gams like these, huh?
What the fuck? Is that even a ghost? Well,
No,
what a
I doubt it. Epilaph. Oh, Epilaph.
Ghost Master actually controls is a wider range than you might think, but there's something fishy happening with...
Epitaph. What?
Fuck, is that even a ghost? Well,
Epitaph. Epitaph? Empath?
what a Ghost Master actually controls
What is
is a wider range than you might
I don't
think,
know. A
but
trickster.
there's something fishy happening with some of these characters.
Yeah. The fuck?
As for the gameplay, you've got a lot of
What?
options. The
That was
missions
like
are all
some-
structured around the terror campaign you're
What
running.
was that in Five Nights at Freddy's? Like, that was like some Purple Man shit.
You'll be given a few assignments, which you can choose the order of. From
Oh.
there you choose which GSG9 ghouls you want on your team, though the game can recommend which ones to use for you.
Gremlin.
From here, you've got your supply of ectoplasm. It's a capped meter that you spend by summoning ghosts to the field and using more elaborate powers. If you're making everyone shit their pants, your plasm cap goes up. But if they start calming down, it starts decreasing. It doesn't go down very
Okay.
quickly, but plasm is still the easiest way to own zone yourself. Because during a mission, you could redeploy and move ghosts around all you want, and it saves the powers they're using. So if you redeploy a ghost using powers above the cap, your power is overexerted, and you have seconds until you suddenly die. That one was high enough to actually
Oh.
make it 2 seconds. Unless told otherwise, ghosts are constantly using the powers you told them to, so you need to be careful rotating them in and out. See, the NPCs have their fear and madness meters, but also
Oh
the
my
belief
God.
meter. That means you can initially use cheaper spirits to help build the groundwork. You make
Alright, so, okay, so there is a limit and on how much you can use. You have to put them in and out and move them across so you can affect the most targets, right?
but also so you need to be
Let's
careful
see
rotating them in and out.
the
See,
system.
the NPCs have their fear and madness meters,
Alright.
but also the belief
Belief.
meter. That means you can initially use cheaper spirits to help build the groundwork. You make electronics freak out, change the weather, maybe have an object or two fly off the shelf. It's all about weakening the mortals by learning their fears,
Shatter their
taking away their
beliefs.
sanity, and driving them apart. They're more
That's
likely
crazy.
to calm down if they group up, but if you planned well enough, you could also get in a good group scare. Then you
Oh.
keep building plasm for more options. You need to milk this acroid slime as much as you can because you are operating under several limits. Most of your team can't be placed wherever you want, they need to be attached to a specific fetter. Some
Like it's
spirits
in a
only
military base or something. Like, how the fuck are we gonna scare them with bunny? Yeah, that bunny chick is gonna fucking scare them. Like, shit. Seriously. Oh my god.
They need to be attached to a
Oh,
specific
that buried
fetter.
alive guy?
Some spirits only vibe with objects attached to violence and murder. Your gremlins only want to go in electronics, some ghosts only like mirrors, and elementals will only go in their matter of choice. And those especially get questionable, but they're still funny. Plus, some objects count as multiple fetter types.
That's brilliant.
It turns out that if you're in the spirit world, a war memorial is like an
Oh god! Yeah, I want to see what the
all-you-can-eat
fuck that
buffet,
was.
making it a good staging ground for lighting any wannabe exorcists on fire. Beyond strategizing using fetters, powers
Why?
themselves can also synergize. Like multiple ghosts affecting the weather can create a more violent storm, or one spirit causes a leak in a flood while another causes a power surge. Beyond being a great way to stack up fear and madness, this is also what you need to do to get a bigger roster. Missions can have multiple beings trapped in them, which require very specific missions can have multiple beings
Is it fucking Shrek? What the And it's like a constellation there. Like, what is that constellation ghost?
trapped in them, which require very specific actions to free. If you do,
Huh?
they join you for the mission, and then permanently are added to your roster. You do get some automatically as
cool.
the campaign goes on, but there are a lot of freaks you can add to your collection. And they all have a lot of character and powers to find, so it does feel worth the effort. At least it does most of the time, since some can get
Oh my
very
god.
convoluted
It's like
to
a
unlock.
it's like a goth version of Cthulhu Pokemon.
Like, scare away
That's
every nurse
awesome.
until this man goes down to the morgue in the basement. This is a big map they ask you to do this in, but even if you do skip out on a few, there are plenty of others to find. Though I would have liked to follow up on some of their motivations. Anyways, the mission
boys.
goal is usually to scare everyone away. Others shake things up by having you scare someone specific away, but you know what you're here for. How quickly you do this, how well you stack your Amityville Wombo combos, and more will determine your score. A better
Oh my god, fuck you. This is like a Hitman game, and they give you negative points if you do shit wrong, and just like a tiny bit point if you do. I mean, to be fair, that's 66
score gives you
6,000.
more
That's a
gold plasma,
lot.
which you can use at the ghoul room between
That should be an
missions.
achievement.
Beyond already running an undead army, each haunter has multiple powers to choose from, and you don't need to worry about losing something cool, as there is redundancy in the
Huh?
roster, so other ghosts can have
Jeez.
similar powers. It's still good to have favorites.
Oh, Bog. What happened to you,
There is
Bog?
redundancy in the roster, so other ghosts can have similar powers. It's
Bog, poor Bog. What killed Bog? Inside Fetter?
still good to have favorites, and there are benefits there too. With a new Wild
That's
Ghost,
cute.
lose the power at the top of the band and everything below it, shifting at random when they're off cooldown. They can also be given orders, though they only have a single slot and not many commands to start with. However, when you bring them on more missions, they get more order slots and can use more complicated commands. Target a specific person, only use this power, only use a power if mortals are in the area. It's a cute looking game, but there can be a lot of strategic depth to it, especially
That's cool. Okay, I did not expect that when I came into this. Alright, so this might be interesting. I want to play this like Factorio or like that other game that is like Factorio, but that you come to. What was it?
as
God,
the
I
campaign
forgot.
goes on. You lure mortals to where they need to be before striking with another. You find ways to create new fetters or shift the existing locations of them. Herd the unthinking masses into the spook matrix. Being a chaos demon is at the heart of Ghostmaster, but the stakes begin at crash the frat party or scare everyone in a nice house. When it escalates to attack the military base, you feel a shift in the game. Oh, that is heartbreaking. Only terrifying innocent children would get old after a while, so the game introduces opposition.
The mortals have called
That
in
would
a-
be awesome if you could just like hunt like a that was artillery, like basically a tank or a jeep, and then just shoot them motherfuckers, run them over.
Gifted
Bro.
medium is like saying driest fish.
Like it happens in every fucking movie. It happens supernaturally in episode 1. Why can't we do it? Why can't we hunt a car and just fucking drive a car? Imagine that, bro.
So the game introduces opposition.
The mortals have called in a gifted medium.
Gifted medium is like saying driest fish. Anyhow, if she sniffs you out, she can outright banish your ghost from the level, but by learning her fears and scaring her away, you can get rid of her like anyone else. And then the family calls up royalty. Royalty free.
Who have the mortals called?
What?
Ghost
Oh
breaker
my
will back
god. And the fucking, oh my god, and the
your
vacuum
ghost
killing
if
them.
you do not act swiftly.
The
Larry.
Ghost Breakers are your arch enemy, some kind of fusion between the original boys and the Three Stooges. Make no mistake,
Brilliant.
they're still dangerous and can team up to banish your troops. So
That-
unless you
that's
bench them in
brilliant.
time or scare the breaker,
Combining
they're gone.
them.
Again, they're still a threat that has agency, so you can mess with them like anyone else. It does mean assaulting their HQ is harder than attacking a regular house, but it's all the same. However, this is where the game starts to change by introducing wards. These are phasmophobic shields that stop you from directly summoning ghosts inside of their areas. You either have to find an indirect way to destroy them, or find a way to get a fetter inside the field and then have the ghosts attack from there. These aren't a bad idea on their own and do work in some missions, but issues do start compounding with them. One way to create a fetter is that some ghosts have a power to make an irresistible gift that an NPC will pick up. From there you could use other powers to lure them towards the wards, but sometimes they don't do anything.
What the hell? Oh my god.
Stairs especially are your kryptonite for them bugging out. It rendered my gift horse powerless. People bugging out in place wasn't an issue before, but now when you're trying to get one to go to an exact spot...
Well, I think that the modders will fix this eventually.
It's already tricky poking the living towards the objective. And it usually works fine, but the objective-based ones have so many obstacles in the way that their pathfinding is easy to break. It works fine throughout most of the game, it just so happens the spots you need it to progress
Silent Song, oh that's so cool.
Don't go back down the stairs,
them.
please God. The hospital is the most egregious for this.
Bro, they need to make a second game of this. Bro, this is so good. But to be fair, if they did it with this, like today's standards of AAA, they would make like 3 races of each like category and then say it's a day. And then you have to buy them of a fucking life savings bullshit.
Don't go back down
maybe
the stairs, please God. The hospital is the most egregious for this, and it could feel like dumb luck sometimes.
God.
It's already a game that puts a lot of limits on you, but now it starts pushing into being annoying. The maps are getting larger with more elaborate objectives, and where you could once knock one out in a half hour or so, now it could be hours. It does lean into the strategy and puzzle side more,
Can
but
you save in between?
It doesn't feel that fun compared to earlier missions. It wasn't bad enough to where I wanted to drop the game, but if you picked it up to have fun scaring people in a fish tank, the ride ends here. It's also that the breakers and wards become your main opposition. And again, a lot was cut out here. They wanted you to face down Native American shamans, highly trained Jewish exorcists, feds.
Why is a Jewish exorcist using Jesus Christ's cross? I mean, to be fair, the cross has some meaning to... Probably not, right? Why? Why would it? I don't know. Why? I don't know. Maybe they would show the Star of David! Yeah, burn on that!
Areas could be haunted by a lone ghost or even an enemy ghost master, and you'd fight back and forth to try and manipulate the mortals. There would be other kinds of investigators and scientists who would convince NPCs it was all rational and make their belief go down. They had a lot of plans to make the challenges more dynamic, entire cut systems like anger that would affect the NPCs. It's pretty incredible just how much was in some stage of production, but this is what the game managed to ship with. And things
Jesus Christ, like
weren't
how can
perfect
you
up until this point either. For
that?
one, you can't investigate a level before deploying your haunters. So it's not clear who to pick, but the recommended spirits will be the ones that you need to free trapped ones in the level. There's some trial and error there. The basic camera controls are easy enough, but you'll be interrupted by reactions of people fleeing, and it's easy to skip over a cutscene if one pops up suddenly. You can feel the lack of polish constantly, but when it's fun, if one pops up suddenly, you can feel the lack of polish
what the fuck
constantly, but when it's fun,
right
it's really fun.
The animation looks so goofy.
As
That's brilliant.
The story, like I said before, it's barren. It's mainly about freeing an entity.
That's awesome that you can. Every time he looks like shows some new ability, I'm like, oh my god, why is this game not remade, bro? Why are we making Uncharted? Why are we making another fucking what did they make again? The Last of Us? Like what? Why? Make another one of this shit.
As for the story, like I said before,
with the Jews and everything.
It's mainly about freeing an entity called the Darkling, who is so powerful and evil that he'll be a great help to the team. There's also a mad scientist who wants to use him for his own means, but not much more to it than that. What is interesting is how the story progresses kind of in the background.
Oh my god.
A lot of the NPCs are recurring characters who will show up for multiple missions.
Holy shit.
In a mysterious cabin, you'll run into Bruce Elm. He's had a big night there, and later at the hospital, you can see he's been committed. They are just tiny blurbs, but there are a lot of evolving character relationships and bits like that in the background. It was planned for ghosts to be the same way, like you might see someone in town with the health of a Morton Joe, and then next level, he might be a ghost you can rescue. Instead, there might be blurbs, but there are a lot of evolving character relationships and bits like that in the background. It was planned for ghosts to be the same way, like you might see someone in town with the health of a Morton Joe, and then next level, he might be a ghost you can rescue. Instead, they're much tinier stories and lots of horror jokes. Bill Hudson in the hospital, Vasquez and Gorman were in an accident, and Burke has chest pain. Man, lots of aliens jokes this year.
Holy shit.
Anyways, the game originally ended on a cliffhanger. Vasquez and Gorman were in an accident, and Burke has chest pain. Man, lots of
What the fuck is this game? Is this Destiny? I don't know. Is this Call of Duty? What
Aliens
is
jokes this year.
That
Anyways,
looks so
the game
cool.
originally ended on a cliffhanger where the Ghostbreakers bring an anti-ghost nuke into the city. The sequel would have dealt with this, but since that never happened, the final level became a free download. They
Yeah.
brought the bomb to the ghoul room, and you had 30
I
minutes.
mean, that's good. That's good that they do it. You know what? Who needs to do that? Fucking EU, Europe Universalists. Like, what the fuck is this DLC shit on that? Who made the decision on the fucking... Make a pack for $20 so we can buy. It's been 20 years. I want to play with my friends. To be fair, you can play with your friends if they have the DLC, but everyone's cheap.
The city. The sequel would have dealt with this, but since that never happened, the final level became a free download. They brought the bomb to the ghoul room, and you have 30 minutes to disarm it and scare them all out. And they've brought their deadliest servant to bear.
You must beware
Jesus.
of a new threat. The Ghostbreakers have harness captured Astral, the Blue
Oh,
Board,
damn it.
and Alara to create a Stay Cold Ice Cream Man.
To his
That's a
credit,
good-
he is
good-
extremely deadly, unless you have a ghost that has fire.
Oh.
Magnificent work, Ghostmaster. You have defeated
Honestly, the previous mission is way more pain.
That was it?
Infiltrating the wards is much less convoluted in this one. It's still not a level I ever replay, but it's a much better send-off than a to be continued. When they're all gone,
Dude, I
the
love
grand
that
finale
they have a POV too. That's so good.
replay, but it's a much better send-off than a to be continued. When
I
they're
wanna
all
see the
gone,
POV
the
of the
grand finale
Darkling.
is all your ghosts get to go into the light. All
Heaven.
of your ghosts. I guess making college kids shit their pants redeemed them.
Oh my god, bro. Next game? What do you call it? The Conquest of the Heavens? I don't know. You have to
This
scare
takes a
the
while.
god.
It has a lot
That's
of
impossible.
problems, but Ghostmaster's still charming as hell. It is janky and clearly undercooked, but the idea behind the game is just so great. The Complete Edition team will keep adding features and polishing things up, but it's a real shame that this is the only game like this. Sure, it breaks down sometimes and a simple cutscene turns into something from a Bollywood soap opera, but there's
Not
still so
physics,
much to
though.
like about strategically scaring people. It wasn't like they lacked ideas to add more to the formula either, they just couldn't carry them out. I did have a sliver
There's
of hope
so
when
much ideas. Like he said there are some unique powers here and there.
It wasn't like they lacked ideas to add more to the formula
But I can
either,
see that
they
he's
just couldn't
using
carry
the
them
same.
out. I did have a sliver of hope when Cabin in the Woods came out that maybe we'd get a proper successor, but there was no such luck to be had. If you can get it for cheap, it's definitely worth a shot. Parts of it are a mess, but you can't find a game that embodies the spirit of Halloween like this one does. Speaking
awesome.
of which, I still need
Probably a
to prepare for
party
that.
game.
I'll see you when the hunt begins.
Is this even multiplayer? Am I crazy? Probably isn't multiplayer, right?
What intentionally funny game broke me with laughter? I guess Limbo of the Lost counts? As a kid, there was a part in Armed and Dangerous that destroyed me too. Thoughts on candy corn? As a kid, I would only bite the yellow ends of them off like a little freak, but
Give me a second. Oh shit, what is this? Cyberpunk! I said Cyberpunk!
terribly buggy. I only came back to try a bit and I ended up sinking hours into it. I also didn't expect the return of Alien Isolation, so that was great. Which would be scarier to explore
That was
in real
Cyberpunk.
life, Subnautica or the forest? This question is a lot harder. That was great.
Am I crazy?
Which
What? Bro, I played it.
would be
That's,
scarier to
I
explore
played
in
last
real life,
night.
Subnautica or the forest?
That
This
was Alien. I played Alien Isolation 2. After Soviet played it, I wanted to play it, so I didn't watch the rest of the video. I wanted to play myself. It's fun. It's fun even to 2023. Like, it's fun.
Is a lot harder than I thought it would be. Because I know what's in both those games. I guess I would still go with Subnautica because being in the ocean would make me wonder what else could just show up anyways. But the sequel to The Forest does also open a gigantic can of worms, and now that game's a lot more existential and crazy last I looked.
I'm waiting. I want to see if the first, because you remember the essay of Soviet Rumble? I know if he's talking about those kinds of forms, like the story bits, the connections, if there is any. But at the same time, it looks a bit more decent. It has actual AI that's helping you build shit.
Also open a gigantic can of worms, and now that game's a lot more existential and crazy last I looked. At the end of the day, though, I've still got to go with Alien Ocean. So the real answer is Barotrauma.
The cleansing
So neither. Not Subnautica. Not even Forest 2.
flame, the burning prison. Thank you for your aid, Ghost Master.
I still don't get it.
Wasted.
Bro, she's just a creep. She's just a creep who probably had a van in proper, like, back in the life. Not every creepy asshole is going to be like a dude. Some of them can be like a bunny. It surprisingly looks like a copyrighted character, you know? But again, who am I to judge? It's a reaction video here. But yeah, that was from Mandloregaming. One thing... Oh my god. Why is YouTube broken again? Like, I can't open up the channel. I can't up... nothing. Fuck it. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Happy Halloween! If this video gets uploaded before Halloween ends, when is Halloween? This is October 21st, right? But yeah, for now, have a nice day and goodbye, everyone. See you all later.